Never a dull moment, right? It's always
Yep.
fun wherever you are. Okay, excellent. Welcome everyone to another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, Mary. Thank you so incredibly much for coming. I love the little light behind you, by the way. That thing looks cool.
Let me show you what it is.
Yeah, show me.
It's from,
So
it has
cool.
different stuff. It's like a projector.
I love it. Love it. Okay, so we want to just welcome everyone here. We are ever so gently going to start with an Om. Now, what an Om does is it opens and expands our hearts, and it allows us to connect into both our higher self and a higher frequency of love. Now, the frequency of love is going to open and expand your levels of awareness, dear ones, allowing for a higher frequency channeling to be transmitted. We, the star people, are ever so gently stepping forward. We wish to also incorporate a divine rainbow ray into tonight's Om, allowing for a complete energetic rebalance of all individuals watching throughout all time and space. We are sending a bright white light surrounding all individuals right now. You may feel an unconditional love as we recalibrate the channeler. Take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. Thank you, star people, for this beautiful channeling tonight. Excellent. Okay, what are we starting with, Mary? Hi,
Actually,
Nancy.
we're going to be in this book, My Ascension Guide, page 92.
Okay. So, everyone, we are working in My Ascension Guide and page 92 tonight. This way, TikTok and Instagram can also see. Okay, page 92.
Depression, the energetic grid structures, deep rest is depression, and healing modalities.
Okay.
Depression is known to planet Earth as a form of sadness which may not fully clear up on its own. This is due to an energetic imbalance and it generates a reverse energetic field in the primary chakra systems. This reversal projects the energetics out of the back of the body, which then become projected into the void and generate a save spot on the energetic grid structures. This save spot is known as density or shade overlapping the auric field of energetic grid structures. Having the ability to project loving light into energy grids shall allow these density shades to become lighter and lighter until they are fully removed from the grids. This process works well with shadow work and energetic grid clearing.
Yes. So when we start to talk about the energetic grids, your energy free flows out the front of the body. This is when we feel unconditional love. You may notice that your heart may open, your shoulders may pull back, your neck, everything becomes very straight and in alignment when we are holding a very higher frequency. And some of these words that we may associate them with are, he's a very stand up kind of guy. That's someone who tells the truth. They're very stand up. That's because the energy is traveling straight up and down. Now, when someone is really sad, you may notice the shoulders hunch. They may hunch over their desk or lean on their hands. And these types of things, it doesn't allow the energy to free flow directly straight. So what this is telling us is that the energy is flowing out. The front of the body is love-based. when it pulls inside. Each chakra goes out in the front of the body and out in the back of the body. So when we feel love, it is coming from the front of the body. When it pulls back and free flows out the back of the body, it is feeling a lower frequency. Now, this is very important because the heart chakra works in the same exact way as the system. And what it actually allows for is, dear ones, when an intense moment of fear is generated. This may include any traumatic imprint. There is a form of the higher self imprinting which takes place within the heart chakra subsystem. This may feel like they're showing me it's like this. Like, okay, so a foot off the front of the body is the seat of the higher self. So this is an energetic type of bonding, and I've been telling you guys this for a very long time now. The higher self comes down, it pushes out. You can actually feel this in your energy grids. It's very, very adamant of being there. And then it flowers open. Once that chakra center flowers open, the higher self is in the heart space. It has taken its seat inside of the body. This is what it means when the star people tell us we have to become the higher self. The higher self has to take the seat in the heart and flower itself open. But when we go through a traumatic moment, that same energy of like that the higher self does in the front of the heart, it also gets done in the rear of the heart. So when we are feeling or experiencing things like sadness, depression, uneasiness, release, all the attachments to those, but there's a little process of the energy shooting out the back of the heart chakra. What this does is it sends that energy to a void space. And that void space is directly connected to the Akashic records, which then in turn starts or generates a cycle repeat. That cycle repeat imprints your energetic grid structures, dear ones, and it then allows for the individual to cycle repeat any experience that holds that traumatic imprint. This is of high value to be aware of because when each individual here knows the traumatic imprint that generated your cycle repeat, it then allows for the primary individual to clean and purify that energetic imprint. That imprint may be radiated into multiple aspects of your biological form. This then allows for densities and distortions to start to form, dear ones, and a density may affect not only one part of your body. For the body is a fractalized aspect of a simulation code. What happens in one area of the body shall reflect into other aspects of your being. You may also notice any imprint in the energetics start a process of mirror reflections. These mirror reflections then are going to show you different aspects of your being reflected back in the world among worlds outside of your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Yes. Hi.
Okay. So when people feel depressed, they should really start to go within and call their higher self in, you're saying.
Yes. Absolutely.
It will help a lot. Actually, I've started calling my higher self in again because I stopped for a while and today I started again.
That's okay.
Not
Well,
because I was feeling depressed. I'm feeling the energies a little bit, you know?
yeah. Well, it's okay because the star people, they're teaching us not to make any one modality something that we do every single day. The aspect of 5D is very much in the now moment. So, in the now moment, do what makes you feel good and do it a little more. And then you may switch modalities, and that's okay too. This way, it gives us a wide variety of things. And the wider our variety, it enhances us because then it's kind of like when we go through all these different things, when we become a seasoned professional or experienced, it allows us to be dropped into any situation and to just know, oh, okay, we're going through this. This modality works best on that. Okay, I'm going to put that one down today. I'm going to do something else. The energetics are really key because any focus that we can do on the energetic grids, you can change your entire life without lifting a finger in the physical reality. And that is just by doing the energetic clearings. And I guarantee you this because I've seen it. right? When we go through and we release the attachments, then all of a sudden it's like wiping off the energy grid when you release the attachment, and it allows more light to shine through that aspect of the grid. And that energy grid is what allows plasma to come into the physical reality and start to solidify into each and every one of our waking worlds. So the cleaner we can make our energetic grid structures, that allows for our manifestations to be of a higher density level, dear ones. This allows for your manifestations to step in to a level of awareness in which a type of control is readily available to activate. What this is going to allow each of you to do is to start to take control of what it is you wish to see manifest. For each aspect of your energy grid contains light lenses. And these light lenses then may reflect your inner soul frequency into the surrounding civilization. Any shift that you make to your energetics changes the reflections that you see back. So, for example, one easy way to change your inner reflections is by going inward, by diving into any meditation upon any item in your physical reality. For example, you may have a best friend. Let's say that best friend needs a recalibration in order to come back into alignment with your highest potential timeline expression. You may go within. You may forgive any external circumstances or attachments. You may then send that aspect of your energetic grid more love and light, allowing then the reflection of the secondary individual to come back into an alignment with your highest potential timeline. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Starkey Bob.
So
Beautiful.
how could we help somebody that might be depressed and might not want to get out of bed or something like that?
Yeah. So, and this one, it touches my heart a little bit because, my what the heck was that? My goodness. Well, let's rewind that one. Okay, so when I was going through a period in my life where I was a cripple, I was on pain medicine for about 12 years, and it was just really dark. I was going through severe levels of darkness. I mean, it was depression from every single angle that you guys can possibly imagine. And I had a next door neighbor who was like a little old lady who smoked cigarettes with me. That's who I was back then. And, I would go over to her house and I would make her coffee. And then all of a sudden she gets this crazy diagnosis. And I was like, oh my goodness, my friend is going to have to go through this. And I was like, not if there's anything I could do about it. And I'm telling you, I went over there all the time. It was every day, 3 times a day. She wasn't eating. I made her eat. I made her coffee. I said, come on, let's go outside. We'll put our feet on the ground. We're going to stretch up to the sunshine, right? We're going to do all the things. I surrounded her with crystals. We kumbaya'd, right? You could just imagine every single tool that I had in my tool bag, I brought over there, and I was like, this is what we're doing today. I made her laugh. I sat there and I told her about all the science stuff. And you want to know what happened in 6 weeks? It was gone. It was as if she was completely healed. There were tiny spots, but for the most part, the doctor she was seeing, who was 100%, we have to act on this right now, he turned around and said, I'm so sorry we misdiagnosed you. So, and I wasn't who I am today. I was still in my darkness. And so many times we'll hear people say, you have to be healed to heal people. No, you don't, because I've done it. And it wasn't me healing her, it was her healing herself with me loving her enough to go and put the focus and attention on her. And that's why I encourage everyone, right? If you know someone who's sick, sad, and depressed, it doesn't matter. You just don't try and heal them. Instead, just try and be there for her or him and send that love and light. And just in your mind, see them as already being healed and know that they can heal themselves. Now, me personally, I was a cripple for 12 years. I mean, I was limping around the place, release. I couldn't walk too good, the whole 9 yards. It was a very dark time. All of my pain, I was able to overcome in about 2.5 weeks. So when we raise our frequency, then all of a sudden the pain can just turn off. You can start to heal yourself. You start to change your mentality. Every single aspect of your entire life, it can change overnight just by doing the energy work. And there's so many different ways of doing the energy work. You guys can start with positive affirmations, right? I love and I bless my body. You could start talking to yourself as if you are your own cheerleader, right? So today I'm going to do great things. You can put, art behind you, that's sacred geometry, because that is a very high frequency image. And then that starts to bring a more cohesive pattern of thought into your space. You guys can put positive affirmation words, right? So today's the best day ever. Now, all of a sudden, even if it's not the best day ever, your subconscious mind is seeing that as a visual representation of a frequency. And that frequency then starts to work identical to the way the crystals work. It starts to shift your energetic field. And then all of a sudden, you have cultivated a life filled with more positivity and taking baby steps. So going outside to nature, right? Putting your hands on the trees and thank Mother Earth for rebalancing you. Mother Earth, she can rebalance your magnetics, which is absolutely amazing. This is what the whole tree hugger thing is all about. People are putting their hearts on the tree and rebalancing all the magnetics. Your magnetics control your emotions. Your emotion controls your extrasensory abilities. This is how the system works. So when you hug the tree, you can ask Mother Earth, and ever so gently, dear ones, you do not have to physically be in front of a tree. Each of you have a type of quantum entanglement with all of Mother Nature, which then allows each of you to drop into a slight form of meditation. You may visualize a tree in front of you. You may visualize making that type of contact with the tree. And you may ever so gently request for Mother Earth to rebalance your magnetic grids. These are your thought grids in nature. They are blue and they are hexagonal. They come from your heart. You may then allow Mother Earth to also connect you to the mycelium kingdom. The mycelium kingdom is the thought grids of Mother Earth. There is a form of a nervous system net that runs directly underneath the surface of the earth. This is controlled by the mushroom kingdom. Different thoughts of different locations are engraved into the mycelium net. And because each individual is connected to Mother Earth on such a quantum level, it allows for the nervous system net of Mother Earth to then resonate a type of Schumann resonance frequency up into that location. This then starts to have an effect on the people who live in that location, allowing them to think differently. And this simply works with every aspect of a location. So, for example, dear ones, if you step foot onto sacred land, no matter where the boundary of that sacred land is, the second your foot walks over the line that includes the location of that sacred land, it shall then start a process of having a shift on the thoughts, free flowing in your mind. Thank you. Thank you, Star People. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
actually, oracles also work like the different channels on YouTube. Some of them, like my friend Caroline has a channel and she does oracles every morning. And today I was feeling kind of off because of the energies. So what I did was I went on her page and she pulled an oracle card that said get up and dance. It'll help your vibration. So that's
Just
what I did.
dance.
So that's what I did and it worked.
Yeah. Sometimes it's all it takes, right? Is a good laugh and just get up and change your body. So there's another aspect of our bodies in the nervous system net. Now, the nervous system net is very similar to the mycelium kingdom. It runs right underneath the skin. It is affected, dear ones, by your thoughts and emotions as well as any resonant frequencies from your location, including all secondary individuals. Now, this is of high value because when each of you learns to control the nervous system net, it shall then allow you to change your resonant baseline frequency. This then shifts your manifestation. When an individual is available to access the 0 point located within the heart chakra, it then allows access into time-space control. This allows you to control the speed of time that you as an individual experience. This is of high value for dear ones. When you are very happy, time may seem to fly. When you experience sadness or darkness, time seems to go slower. The nervous system net works directly with the heart. For all emotions be magnetic or flowing through the heart chakra 0 point. This then starts a process of imprinting the waters of the body. However, dear ones, your thoughts being connected to the emotions are also free flowing in a physicality. This radiates through the heart chakra as well. And this generates a form of voltage. Your thoughts and emotions work simultaneously, and your emotions work first, not second. Your emotions may trigger a biological response faster than you are able to have a thought in your mind. This is because the heart controls time and space. So, dear ones, choose your emotions and allow those emotions to stem from the heart. For when you radiate each emotion from the heart, it then allows a form of chi energetics, which is electrical in its nature, to fully imprint you at the cellular levels. This then allows each of you to change your biological imprint system. And the biological imprint shall manifest very rapidly for many of you watching. The imprints take a form of voltage and imprints upon the cells of the body's water. And this water then maintains a form of piezoelectricity within the deep cellular structures. This form of chi energetics then starts a process of manifesting very rapidly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Okay.
The next page is access codes, but I think you might have covered that a little bit with the things that you were talking about already,
Right now?
like the negative thoughts that.
Yeah, they do that. They answer the questions before we have them. They do that a lot. Thank you,
I
Star.
know, that's what I'm saying. So I'll just go to another one.
Pick a random one. Although it's not random, we know it's being guided.
Actually, I do want to pick one. Rocking the soul to rebalance the auric field.
Okay, I know that one well. So I personally, because I've experienced in one way, shape, or form all of the posts, whatever that looks like, without putting limitations on it. I had some type of experience with it. Um, so I went through this phase of, you know, there was no one to heal me except the star people. And so I went through the phase of, not really wanting people to touch me. And the star people were like, well, people have to touch you to help you to heal. And it was like, I didn't want anyone, don't touch me, right? Release. And so they were like, okay, well, if you don't want Reiki energy or anyone like that to touch you, then what you're going to do, if you want to, what you're going to do is close your eyes and feel the soul inside of your body. Right. So we all go to people like Reiki energy healers, and what they're doing is they're pushing light, and that light affects the nervous system net, which then starts the process of releasing any densities and distortions, all the darkness on our field, right? Well, what they said was come inside and feel the soul form inside, and then take it and rock it back and forth like this. And so I literally would feel my soul come into like the center, and then I would rock it back and forth and rock it back and forth. And you could feel this. You can literally feel this energy go like this inside your body because you're commanding it. And the more and more you command it to move, it is like popping out the nervous system net. Now, I will tell you, whatever religion you guys practice, that's okay too. There's absolutely no judgments. I know I have been in, I've studied two of them myself when I was a child, and then I stopped. So it was like three. My mom went with me to I think it was like Catholic. It was a spring, right? Because I was all like, "Go team, we need a spring." It's spring, it's vortex water. So we went to the Catholic people to go get it, and they had a little room where it was like people were going in there and praying. And now I have done the energy work, so I could feel this. When I sat down in that room and I closed my eyes, I felt my nervous system net go pop, and it was like the whole net had expanded. And I was like, wow, this is what it feels like to be on like a sacred site. When you have people meditating, your energy field, it like expands inside of the body. So if you had any illness, any disease, and you're in that location, you're feeling that energy, it's going to automatically heal you. This is also what the pyramids do naturally. The pyramids, because of the pyramidal shape, it is naturally generating a vortex energy inside the pyramid. The word pyramid means pyramid, pyro, fire. Amid means within, fire within. What is the chi energetic systems? It is a vortex energy that is within the body. So fire within. This is your electrical voltage, right? And it goes like, oh my gosh, it's in the Kundalini channels as well. So we have this electrical voltage inside. So a vortex energy starts to affect the electrical systems. Your nervous system net, it has an electrical voltage to it. However, your emotions push and pull on the nervous system net that allows the thoughts, the emotions push on the nervous system net, the star people are saying, which then allows this type of energy to connect in. So when, let's say for an example, if your nervous system net is pulled in a tiny bit in a location or a body part, then all of a sudden the energy, which is your chi energetic systems, is triggering into the physical material differently, and you may start to notice like a muscle knot form. Those are stored emotions. So what we would want to do is either take a magnet and continuously run a magnet over the surface. Now we want to use both a positive and negative polarity of the magnet. So flip it over, right? Use it. And if you can like determine which side is which, I personally like to start with the south side of the magnet. So if you take a magnet, this is a rock, just imagine it's a magnet, and you put it here on the temple, and then you hold your arm out. You have a friend push down on your arm. If it's the north side of the magnet, your arm is not really going to move down. But if it's the south side, it's much easier to move the arm down. Do that, figure out, do the south side all over the entire body and the nervous system net first. Your body works in fractals. So we can work just on the face. Every single emotion stored on the face reflects into the entire physical body. So we could get a facial done utilizing the magnets, and then all of a sudden we can have an emotion in our shoulder come off, or the imprint will clear. And that is because it is all fractalized. The word fractal is very similar to a Fibonacci spiral, which means if you guys have ever seen the seashells that like spiral like this, where one point starts and then it expands, that is how the human body works in the energetic fields. This is how matter is formed. However, your entire body is one being, it's one organism. So the second we can identify that, we can either work with the face, we can actually work with the hands. The hands contain lines on it. The lines are emotion codes. We can work with the soles of the feet. We can work with the scalp, or then we could go into the individual organs and body parts direct. The more we start to work with these magnets, now, if you can also add an aspect of voltage to it. So I used to have a TINS unit. A TINS unit is something where you put these little stickers on your body and it like zaps you with electricity. It's so much fun to do in a party setting. Everyone holds hands and everyone gets zapped. But if you can grab one of those from like, wherever, you can add a voltage to the body and then wave the magnet over as you're doing it. So now what you're actually doing is you're working with both the magnetism as well as the electrical circuits. This is a very rapid way to start to heal the body. And really, it is whatever you consciously focus on is going to naturally add more love to the body systems. And it is that conscious focus and attention that's going to expand that manifestation. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you. Thank
I
you, star
usually,
people.
I usually like to rock when I'm meditating.
That's why you naturally feel drawn to do it. I mean, children do this too, or even traumatized people, right? When we go through levels of trauma, it's like the natural is to rock. And that's what we're doing it from the inside out. And it's healing the nervous system net.
And an infinity sign. That's what I like to do when I'm meditating. You
That's
said that
why
it activates something, but I forgot what you said. The
they
infinity
have us.
sign?
What?
The infinity sign, you said that it activates something, but I forgot what you said.
Oh, yeah. So the infinity sign is your toroidal field. So that's what that is. And the 0 point is within the heart. Now, when we take the left hand, we put it over the heart, the right hand over the belly button. It really is the right hand if you're a righty. You can do it with the opposite hands, but the heart is pushing out in energy. So we want to catch it with the hand that we receive. And then the right hand, because I'm a righty, pushes out energy. So we put that in the belly button because the belly button pulls the energy in. The belly button is the first place in our body that we received energy. That's where the umbilical cord was put. So it's directly in the center. So when we put the hands there, it naturally starts to form a toroidal field, which is also an infinity symbol. It's beautiful. The second that we form this, any type of recalibrations that we do to our body, it activates it in the energetic grids just because we have our hands in this placement. Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
The next one, reflections into the fractal grid structure.
Okay, want to read a little?
Yeah, many individuals have taken notice of the way information is vibrated out of the fractal system. This entire reality is built onto a sacred geometry fractal system. When each individual becomes aware of a thought pattern, it is known that somewhere in the reality, another individual acquires the same exact thought at the same time. I think you talked about this already this week, something about that. Because of the frequency that the planetary system is holding right now at this time, your thought patterns are being downloaded into the physical reality and is reflecting out of the multiple sources. This is also why many channels on the planet are all speaking about the similar topics at the same time, even though they don't know each other.
Yes. All thought form is downloaded into a minimum of 3 people at the same time. It's actually more than that. It's there's some people saying 12, but it is fractalized differently, dear ones. So for 3 primary individuals, you are receiving the same identical conversation at this exact moment. However, there are 12 people total who are accessing this information. The other groups of 3 are going to access this type of information slightly different, for it may be in a different polarity expression. For example, the conversation that we here as the star people are having with all of you individuals right now is in a positive polarity. There may be another subdivision or another set of 3 who are receiving identical information, yet the polarity expression is of a negative light. This then allows for the same type of information to be radiated among your planet. However, it may be witnessed from multiple polarity expressions. It will also be witnessed from not only a polarity, it may be witnessed by speaking or doing. So some individuals may be engaged in a type of activity that requires identical information right now. They may be downloading the information, but utilizing body movement in order to generate the same material. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star People. Yes.
Let's see. I guess I can go to the back of the book a little bit.
Okay.
Did you want to talk about the empath and the narcissist expression?
This just came up today. Yeah, sure. So many star seeds, we are the empaths, which is we feel the emotions. The empath and the narcissist expression, it has many different aspects to it. So many times as star seeds, we come here with this like open-hearted nature and we want to heal everyone. We want to be with everyone. We want to bring love and light. And then we either get into relationships or friendships with an individual who is traumatized, because to develop a narcissistic type of personality, the person would have to go through darkness to develop that. It is simply a lack of love. That being said, when an individual has a narcissistic expression and they are with an empath, the one is over loving, caring, kind, who doesn't maybe have boundaries set in place. And then the negative, the narcissist, pushes the buttons, right? So they may yell or curse or suppress or any of these different release any attachments, but they may go through the process of having that type of experience. Now, usually what happens in the case like this is if the two people remain together, then it may be okay if they go through a healing process. For if they heal, they can heal together and they are able to overcome these things. In many cases, we do see the empath having to set boundaries and learning from that. And boundaries, they're not only with if it's a relationship, it's also with every person in the actual reality. So if people do talk to you negatively, you guys each have my permission to put a boundary up. You are not allowed to curse in my presence. That's a boundary, and it's okay for you to hold to it. And if somebody, this is how this goes. If you put a boundary up, there's only two options here. Well, there's three, but the two options are the person has enough respect for you and they will try without being perfect because everyone slips. They will try to not curse around you, as an example, because they love you and they respect you. Or two, they will not try and they'll be like, whatever, they don't care. So in that case, it is absolutely okay for you guys to excuse yourself from their presence and put your foot down. That's a boundary, or three, you put a boundary and then you go back on it and you allow them back into your life, but the behavior doesn't change. Now, what actually happens, and the second that everyone is really, really like when you know what every single word does to your energy field, and I'm telling you guys this from my heart, like if someone uses a word that's a low frequency, it resonates into your energy field, and then you start to see mirror reflections of that word. So it's kind of like if you're allowing that darkness in your energy field, you have to experience that darkness in some way, shape, or form in your life. It is going to mirror reflection back into your world. Do you guys have time to be mirror reflection, witnessing the mirror reflections of the darkness? I mean, yes, we go through a baby stepping process. However, the second we set the boundary, just don't do it in front of me because I'm not willing to experience that energy. Then all of a sudden, that energy is no longer in your reality. And if it does show up, we hold neutral, we send it love and light to heal it, and we excuse ourselves, we rebalance our energies. So anytime we do get into any types of conversations that is of the dark polarity, and these things happen, we're human. So when they do come up, we drop back into meditation. You guys have heard me say the word release on this live stream several times because when we dive into the dark words, they contain attachment frequencies, and then the attachments latch onto us, push that emotion into the energetic grids, and then we start to mirror reflect first. But if it imprints us, we start to manifest that frequency like this. So when we know this, anytime we dive into the dark words, we speak the word release, and then we love and bless our bodies, and we love and we bless the space outside of the body so that we could recalibrate ourselves and we could release any densities, any distortions within the energetic grid structures, dear ones. For any and all darkness in your field, it will not only start a process of mirror reflection. However, you may hold a witnessing emotion, and that witnessing emotion allows you to experience multiple aspects of witnessing that darkness. The second that one goes into a conscious focus of all of these dark emotion codes, it allows for them to recalibrate their energetic grids. The process of releasing these dark densities allows for you to hold more light in your energy field. This then allows you to summon your higher self, to hold higher frequency. And this will activate a timeline expression, which includes the ascension timeline, allowing each individual engaging in this material to start to take steps to holding 5D frequencies in your body vessel. Thank you. Thank you, Star People.
Thank you.
Yes. Beautiful.
A while back, you said, I do not accept your energy. That's what I do.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I do,
It's
even if I
too
have to
dark.
say it to myself.
Yes, we can even activate shields. So there's like the pillars of shields or multiple types of energetic shields. And when we say all shields activate, and we do not even have to speak the words out loud. We can, if you're in the middle of a conversation, you could do it in your mind. I activate my shields. I do not accept this energy. And all of a sudden, your energetic field, it knows what to do. But speaking it out loud is very strong. So, and once again, there's a source frequency net. Now, I always say it's above us, but it's in the air, it's in the body, it's all around us. So it's the quantum net that we are all connected to. It's kind of like the World Wide Web, but it's in the ether. So anytime we're experiencing any energy cords, which is how the simulation works, we know this. We get energy cords between people. We have to break them or recalibrate them. We could take all of our energy cords and we could filter them up through the source frequency net and then allow them all to recalibrate back to unconditional love. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that every morning.
Release.
Your cords, huh?
Yeah. No, here on a comment. My father loves cursing and it knocked an attachment out of me. When we have the attachments and the attachments release out of you, you guys, you may burp. In extreme cases, you may have a little vomit come up. In that case, you should be the only person to touch it because it contains the resonance of the attachment that you guys had inside the body. And you want to be the only one to touch it and clean up because we don't want someone else to touch into that frequency. And then all of a sudden the attachment latches onto them. When we touch attachments, any vessel that we are drinking out of should have a lid on it, right? So if you guys have cups of water, put a lid on it or take it out of the room. The attachments, saying the word release, it knocks them off of the energy field, but as well as inside of the body. So there's many different types of attachments that enter the body through the holes. So you may notice, you may get like a ringing in the ear, or your ear may hurt as an attachment is coming out. You may notice a runny nose. You may cough. You may belch. You may feel gurgling in the belly. Sometimes when we feel the gurgles, it means the attachment is moving. But usually when some form of energy comes from one of the holes in the body, or even the eyes crying, it's releasing these attachments. And tooting releases the attachments. So in everyday conversation, which my real friends in real life, we all walk around and we say the word release. So we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and whatever we're talking about, if it's dark, then we use the word release to release any of the attachments just spoken. And we'll do this, and you'll see someone burp right after the word release comes, and you're like, yeah, you just released one. So that's how it works, right? It's beautiful.
I just froze.
Oh, you did? That's so much fun. Yes.
And I know it's not going to work, so I'm just going to move forward.
Fantastic. You know it's not going to work. You're manifesting that.
At
I
least
know
I
it
don't
is
look
going to
bad.
work.
At least I don't look bad.
You look amazing. If it was a bad photo, I would like minimize you. So much fun.
Actually, that's what you just talked about, being surrounded by lower vibrations and creating a space of protection. That's page 242 in this book.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you just talked about. I just found that.
Beautiful.
Stepping into higher frequencies and holding on to lower frequency behavior patterns.
Okay. So this one is very unique because we know this on some level or another. Let's say, for an example, we'll take alcohol because many people have witnessed this. Someone will be drinking all the time. Let's say they went hardcore alcoholic release. And then all of a sudden they didn't drink for like a year. And then they slipped up and they drank again and they got really sick. They might have ended up in the hospital or whatever the case was, released. All of a sudden, it's like when you quit that lower frequency, which was the alcohol, you were frequency matched, you were engaging in it all the time, and then you stopped, you raised your frequency. There's a limitation to this, right? Where if you raise your frequency too high, and this is really not in alignment with the new frequency, it could even cause a life ending when engaged with. And we see this also in drug use, right? Someone relapses and then all of a sudden it ends their life. That's because there wasn't a frequency match. So we see this in McDonald's food, not to name any name brands, but like when you eat it now and you haven't eaten it in years, you could potentially get sick. That's because the frequency match isn't there, right? It's a level of toxicity to your biological frequency. So the second that we recognize that, it brings to our mind alignments, and alignments are key, because if we know we're not in alignment with something, that alignment, then we just shouldn't engage with it. We may choose ever so gently to not engage with that item, because the alignments are key in developing these types of energetic cords. When an alignment or a misalignment, more or less, is present, it allows an opportunity to see what an unharmonic frequency resonance may feel like. It does not feel good to the primary individual to be in the presence of an unharmonic frequency. So, having this awareness then allows you to choose in the now moment items, people, places, and things which are in alignment with your highest and best timeline expression. These types of misalignments may also form by inconsistent uses of an item. For example, one individual may be utilizing one particular item over and over and over again. You may then start to notice a misalignment form in the energetics. That item may not work as well because it is being used and aligned with too often. The process of activating 5D frequencies allows the primary individual to shift ever so gently throughout a multiverse to try new things, so that the individual is constantly in alignment with new things. And these new alignments allow for different frequencies to be held within your bodies, in your minds, and in your souls, which allows for a different form of energetic patterning to be held in your thought grids, dear ones. 4, going back into the process of these alignments shall allow each of you to see that when you engage in an item and then release the item, you are not holding resistance to said item. Any item that becomes an attachment shall then form an energetic tubule, which will contain a darker level of density. These darker levels of density must be neutralized, and then love and blessings may be sent in order to complete a polarity expression of each energetic tubule. This then allows for you to hold neutral to any items, people, places, and things, and that allows you to activate a higher level of awareness. For when all energetic cords, tubules, and experiences are held at a code 23, which is a polarity expression of I have done it and now I witness another person do it, and 3 emotion codes: positive, negative, neutral. It allows for a form of transcendence over that particular emotion code, which then allows the awareness to rise above that emotion code. Thank you. Thank you, Star People.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Neo says I have tried alcohol just to see how it tastes, and he doesn't like it. Let me tell you guys something, because I used to be a bartender, so you just imagine. Um, and I stopped drinking for years. Mary's gone. Oh, there she is. Well, I stopped drinking for years, and then one of my dearest friends handed me an essential oil bottle that was made with alcohol. And can I just tell you guys, I took one drop of this essential oil, and it was like whoosh, and the heat washed over my entire body, and I knew what had happened. All of the attachment doors, or the starfield doors, had opened, and I felt it. And this is after I had been doing attachment release sessions, so I was aware. I'm aware of how the energy feels, and it was eye-opening, because in that moment I knew a single drop of alcohol opens the doors, allowing these attachments to latch onto you. This is also the way our alignments work, because the second that we align ourselves with something, it is opening these doors, allowing different attachments on, depending on the alignments that we are holding. So, for example, if we align ourselves with something that is of a darker nature, right? Something that scrambles the consciousness or makes us see things, or, any of that, then that door will open, and it will allow that range of attachments to latch onto us. The attachments are messengers. They are not to be feared because we are the ones who are in complete control of our energetic grids at all times. That is how powerful the light is within each of us. We are master manifestors. We've been doing this our whole life. We just may not have been aware up until these moments now. So when we start to recognize, okay, these are messengers, what does that mean? Well, the star people call the darker ones attachments because they attach on and they are pushing this emotion. But the truth is, they are messengers because the light ones we know as angels. And these also attach on to us and then they push the light emotion codes into our energy grids. So, for example, you may feel excitement and that attracts. You have to feel it a couple of times, right? You feel excitement, you feel again, I am excited, I'm always excited, I'm this excitement, thank you. All of a sudden you're going to start to notice the attachment is latched onto you, and then you start to have more and more and more experiences of being excited. That is because that, we'll call it an angel, that angel messenger of positive polarity is on you, pushing that emotion code of excitement. The same works for the dark ones, though. And the reason that we don't want the dark ones is because they're pushing darker emotions. And the darker emotions makes us, have less energy. So we want to release the darker ones and we want to learn to call in the higher ones. There is also a process of imprinting. Now, imprinting is done by each and every one of us. This is a true power of our words because every word that we speak, it literally carries weight because the weight is plasma in its nature. Plasma is the ether. It is a form of the ether. The ether contains multiple aspects, the star people are ever so gently saying. When each of you learns to harness the ability of thought and the spoken word, the thoughts that you speak, that is in between your heart. For it starts the process of imprinting in the cellular levels, which then starts a manifestation process. When you have raised your level of awareness and you have released densities and distortions, you may be out of awareness that may allow you to see and sense above time and space. This then allows for each thought you have that is spoken into the energetic field to manifest very rapidly. For dear ones, specific frequencies that resonate out the human tongue will start a process of opening portals or instantaneous manifestations or even making shifts to your body vessel, such as shifting the health and density levels of your body. All these different types of extrasensory abilities may be started within your throat chakra. The process of speaking it into your reality shall allow you to start to harness these abilities. And we wish to ever so gently do an Om. We are going to recalibrate the collective consciousness net that is formed around this communication. If each individual here will allow the star people to cleanse and purify your energetic grids, you may each say yes now. If you say or think the word no, we will hear and we will not facilitate for you. Please, everyone, take a deep breath in. And we are sending our many, many love and blessings, dear ones. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Thank you for this beautiful transmission and channeling tonight. They ended at 5 minutes too.
I
Did you
just have
see
one
the time?
question.
I just looked. I was like, what time is it?
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
Does your ego go with you to 5D when you ascend?
It's a sidestep. They're saying you learn to harness the ability of letting go. And it's not really letting go, it's releasing resistance. You must, dear ones, release resistance And what this means is you must be able to hold neutrality and shine unconditional love from the hearts. For the process of activating 5D is one of learning your complete energetic grid structures and the light refractal system. For any changes or modifications to your energetic grids will then start to show a different level of awareness that you are going to be able to see through the simulation. And this all starts because neutrality. However, dear ones, you must hold the 23. You must see the experience from your eyes, and you may then see the experience from another person's eyes. This may also include television. When 3 emotions is held to each experience, it then allows your level of awareness to raise very rapidly, might I add. This allows for you to start touching in above time and space. For when you have cleared the densities and distortions from your energetic field, it may then shine more light through the energetics. This then allows for a higher frequency of time and space to be observed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, guys. We just want to say thank you. And I saw 5:55 on the clock. That's synchronicity. Just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. It was a beautiful channeling. Thank you so incredibly much to your star people for this beautiful channeled session. We will be facilitating the Shadow Work Zoom tonight. So anyone who wishes to come can go to daniellelipton.com and just send in an email. That email, I'll send you a free Zoom link and you guys can join us. We come together to heal together as one tribe without costs, without charging, none of that stuff. We do it because we love each other. So everyone is welcome. Just send in a message and I'll send you the link. Thank you, Mary, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. You do it because you're awesome.
Your photo went completely black. So you
I
knew it
know.
was going to happen and it manifested. Right? You spoke it into reality. And you want to know what happens when you're on a live stream with other people watching and you speak something, then all of a sudden the power of 3 activates and it manifests even more rapid, because multiple people have their conscious focus and attention on it.
Yeah.
Right? This is really how it works. So like anytime we are going through our darkness, don't tell anyone about it unless you have to. And even like if you're going to like purchase a new car, don't tell anyone about it until you have the car, if you can, because their thoughts, feelings, and emotion adds either resistance, or it adds, if they're trying to boost you up and you know that that person is your best at heart, it'll make it more rapid of a manifestation. But, it's amazing. Okay. You guys have a wonderful night. And I am sending each of you many love and blessings. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. I don't know why I have to hit this button 3 times. Okay, there we go.